Morrie Schwartz was a professor, and he spent the end of his life in bed with ALS. And one of his students hooked up with him and wrote the legendary book, Tuesdays with Morrie. And the idea was that he would, people would come and help him and build him up and all that kind of good stuff. And they would say, hey, Morrie, you got to relax. And Morrie said this, lying in bed toward the end of his life. He said, when all I do is take, it makes me feel like I'm dying. But when I give, I feel like I'm living. Yes, he was laying in his bed, and yes, on the surface he was dying. But most important, he was living. And when you feel like you're living, when you feel like you're giving, it makes such a big difference. Taking makes me feel like I'm dying. Giving makes me feel like I'm living. You know, when we take somebody down, it's like a part of us dies. I was thinking of all the stuff going on around us. You know, I think of the debates and the politics and the anger and the divisions in our country. And I just wish there was more civility. I just wish there was more respect and more patience and more goodness of spirit. Because when you take somebody down, well, that takes away their dignity, their self-respect, and who they are. And when I take somebody down, it's like a part of me dies too, because that's not the way that we are called to live. But when I build somebody up, when I give unto others, when I step back and really respect another person's dignity and who they are, then it's like I'm living and fully alive. I had this fantasy that there was a political debate going on, and there's been a lot of those. And in those debates, I think the focus is taking the other person down. And I had this image that right in the middle of the debate, one of them stopped. And they said, hold on a second. He said, the only way that we're going to bring peace and healing to our country and to our people is if we listen to each other. He said, we've got to be in this thing together. And if all we do is take each other down, if all we do is talk about what's wrong, then the divisions get bigger. So wouldn't it be ironic if right in the middle of a debate they say, listen, why don't we try to listen to each other and respect each other? Because then maybe the healing can begin. Well, that's probably not going to happen. But it's important to listen. And I was just thinking of the biblical word. I was thinking of the prayer that we had last Sunday. I don't know if any of you listened to it. And here were some of the words that we shared together. We said, Lord, inner peace can be elusive when there is so much harshness and violence and anger around us. Lord, I need your spirit. I need your grace. I need your calm. We need that more than ever. And then I think of 1 Corinthians 13, where that passage is, we read it so often, but I sometimes wonder if we can make it come alive in the way that we live. It says, love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful. Love is never happy with evil, but is happy only with the truth. Somehow, we need to take those words about patience and kindness and goodness. Somehow we need to take those words of a dying man named Morrie and realizing that when we take somebody down, when all we do is take, then a part of us dies. But when we choose to give, when we choose to give unto others and to listen and to be patient and to respect, then a part of us really comes to life and we become the person that God wants us to be. And so I think of how important that is. It's like the other day I was watching a basketball game and somebody went up for the basket and somebody shoved him down and he hit the floor. He took it down, but then he reached his hand out and he pulled his opponent up. And I realized that's what it means to give. Yeah, sometimes we get taken down, But when we give, we pull somebody back up, and their self-esteem and their dignity is restored. The sign this week reads, "The Art of Giving." And I realize more and more, thanks to you and what our church is all about, that giving is an art, that giving is a tapestry, that giving is a way of life, that giving is a way of us taking something inside of us and giving it unto somebody else and building that person up. And it takes kind of a human artist to do that. And that's what each one of us are called to do. The art of giving unto others. That's at the heart and soul of who we are as a church and the heart and soul of the Spirit that binds us together. God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you on Friday.